Good afternoon, and here we go again. My name is Barry Selby. This is my daily Facebook Live messages from the masculine number 147. And today's topic just came out of the blue. I was just sitting with what I want to talk about today because I'm keeping my agreement to doing one broadcast a day on Facebook Live around this topic, around this theme of messages from the masculine to inspire the feminine heart. That's the full title, by the way. Before I jump into the topic, let me introduce myself for those who are coming for the first time. My name is Barry Selby. I am a best-selling author, speaker, and relationship attraction expert, helping strong, successful women find love and find balance in love, life, and business, and also find love the right way in healthy relationships. I'm a passionate champion for the divine feminine, and today's topic is really one that sort of I've been noticing things recently. I've been watching some friends, and in fact, to be totally transparent, I'm caregiving for my housemate who just got back from back surgery. She came back Saturday, had surgery last Tuesday, so just over a week ago. And watching the people coming over, the friends who come to support, and I'm actually coordinating the schedule, which is kind of an interesting experience to be the caregiving facilitator, as it were. Across my mind, so I was in conversations with several of these people about the longevity of their relationships, what they've been through together, why they've left, these sort of things. And so I want to throw some ideas out and some thoughts in your lap. You're watching, so it's in your lap, on what may be important to you and also what might not be important to you, because the reality for most people is, well, I'm going to say this, a lot of people are fair weather relationship partners. I mean, they're fair weather friends and also fair weather relationship partners, just so you know that. You may have already experienced that, and maybe you were one of them at some point. I spoke a couple of days ago, I think it was Tuesday, maybe Monday, about he has to have so much money before he can have a woman like that, based upon how much people were tied into, and particularly in Southern California, are tied into the looks versus the money type conversation. And I mentioned in the broadcast, which I'm going to talk about more here, that both of those are transitory. And so if you are falling in love with somebody because they have lots of money and they go broke, do you leave? If you fall in love with somebody because they're so attractive, and God forbid they have an accident and they get disfigured, or they just get older, I mean, any way, combination, shape or form, that may change their looks, do you then quit? Now, I think most people who watch my broadcasts would not leave that easily. But many people in the world do. And if you are somebody who goes on the online dating sites and dating apps like Tinder, etc., that's the rest of the world, by the way. It's unlikely excuse me, is likely, I would say, that most people you're going to cross paths with in the dating scene are not of this mindset. They're actually tied to a much more surface, fickle, and what's the other word I'm looking for? Well, you know what I mean. Way of being. And I wanted to speak to the value of connection. Yes, I do. Sorry, it just came out. So just checking if I want to go that direction. I do, yes. I have these conversations in my head, so bear with me. One of those days, these broadcasts sometimes are elating, sometimes they're freeing, sometimes they're just crazy, and sometimes all three. So in the context of this conversation, I want to speak about connection. So many people in the world, and again, not you, because I know you better, you know more about relationships, you're conscious people, you think about these things, but a lot of people are attached to the packaging, the presentation, the nice car, the nice body, the nice clothes, the nice bank account, all these different things. And I want to speak to what connection's about, because for most people, they miss that connection. And it's kind of on the level of intimacy as well, which is a whole other conversation. But there are so many people who are so attracted to and invested in the presentation. So when they're walking down the street with their partner, they're like, look who I've got with me. And when the person isn't the person they want to be with, it's like, push them away. It's not about connection. It's about, well, in some cases, some men trade in their girlfriends like they trade in their cars. Actually, so do some women. Let me be clear on both sides of that. And so I'm putting on the table this idea that there's obviously, well, I'm going to say this. For those of you watching, you know there's more to this conversation than that. So I want to just speak to that for those people who are watching for the first time, who've never seen my broadcasts, who don't think the same way that we do, those of us who know me well. I think that makes sense. So, connection. It's an ineffable conversation to talk about how we connect with each other. Sometimes, when we are willing to trust our intuition, We will connect with somebody we didn't expect to, who doesn't necessarily have all the ducks in a row that you think they should have. The career, the lifestyle, maybe the kids or no kids, depending how you look at it, the location, all these different things can go out the window when the connection is strong enough. But for many of us, we've been trained by the environment, by the media, by society, by our friends, to think through a very narrow lens. Or I should say, to view the world through a very narrow lens. And that limits your choices. The conversation about trying to find your soulmate and all these sort of things, which frankly I'm averse to talking about, having met 3 in my lifetime who weren't meant to be my partners, I tend to look down. Let me be nice about this. I tend to. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word in there somewhere. Transcend. There's a better word. Transcend the soulmate conversation, because we can actually, if you want to talk about spiritual principles, as we all come from the same place, one spirit, one God, we're all the same and we're all connected the same way. So everyone is our soulmate. You want to play that game? Try that one on for size. You may change your arguments in the future and your friendships in the future too. What I mean, coming back to this conversation, is that there is a, I'm going to say this in clear terms, there is an absolute requirement to be able to be with somebody that you value, that you connect with. And it can develop into a level of that soulmate connection that you feel, but the reality can sometimes be different from what you expect. So in some ways I'm saying be prepared for the unexpected in a way, because what you may be drawn to doesn't fit your paradigm. Now, in some cases that can be bad news, because I know friends of mine, and I saw a couple of names flash up on the screen earlier, who went through relationships where their choices were, hold that thought, Gina, I'll come back to you, that they end up with somebody that didn't work out the way they wanted to. Now, to answer, sorry, for those watching YouTube, I'm answering questions on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live first. That's why this is where it's first recorded. Gina asked a question: have you ever dated an unattractive woman? Unattractive by whose standards? Looking back, I probably wouldn't have dated them. My views changed, not because of necessarily they're external, but they're internal. And this is what I'm going to get to about the connection. Thank you, you actually inspired my thought. I appreciate that, Gina. I have friends of mine, women that I've dated before, been in a relationship before, maybe 15, 20, 30 years ago. Yes, I've been around a bit for a while, just so you know. And one of those friends I still have an incredible attraction for. Now, she's married, got kids, and lives on the East Coast. There's no relationship there. But over time, I've actually fallen more in love with who she is. Not to necessarily be in a relationship with her, but I found her energy, her vitality, her beauty, even though she's not as cute and young and sexy as she was, to be more effusive, to be more evident, and more attractive. So to answer the question about unattractive women, it's all about scale and perspective. Because the truth is, you know, one man, no, I won't go to the one man thing, that's a bad path to go down. But the reality is, some men, so as you're asking me as a man, will find one woman attractive, other men wouldn't. And I've said, let me throw this one on the table. I've said this before. The spiritual center I go to, which is Agape International Spiritual Center in Culver City, there are many beautiful women that I see go through there on a Sunday. I mean, it's true in the world in general, but I want to speak to that place. Well, you know what? Let's talk in general. Make it easy. I live in Los Angeles, which is a very beautiful city, and lots of women around here are beautiful because it's warm weather. Women wear like loose, revealing clothing. I've watched so many women cross my path over the last 30 years of being in Los Angeles who are stunningly beautiful women, but I'm not attracted to any of them. I'm distracted by them, and I notice them, absolutely, no argument. But I have no yearning, no desire to connect with them, because I can feel there's no connection there. So to be bluntly honest, as you asked the question, Gina, there are many women out there that are beautiful, but I don't find attractive. That's a good way of saying it, yeah. Many beautiful women out there who I don't find attractive. Because for me, and I'm speaking personally, the attraction is something deeper than just the looks. Yes, the looks get my attention, but unless there's a depth of connection that is in the eyes, in the heart, in the connection of energetics between us, I'll walk away. It may take a while for me to walk away, because I'll still be going, wow, she's hot, she's cute. But I will walk away. Let's be totally transparent. I want to say that clearly. So, so there are many beautiful women I've seen who I find beautiful but not attractive. And it's a different thing. And maybe I should speak to that as a topic as well for the women watching to understand how men feel, and also men watching too. There is a difference between beauty and attraction. Same as for women, there are men they find handsome but not attractive. Same thing is true. There are men in Hollywood. In fact, I watched someone's post about this a couple of days ago. who was talking about one of the actors in Hollywood who I think is so hot because I remember his name in a minute. Scottish guy who was in 300. You'll remember the name you put up for me. It went out of my head. Who women think is stunning, he's attractive, he's sexy, he'll get out, and he probably looks great in bed, but he abuses women. Actually, no. So let me qualify. Sorry, I meant to say that clearly. I've heard that he does. I've heard that he's not been respectful of women. Let's put it that way. I want to be careful what I say with the current Hollywood theme that's going on right now. But the truth is this, and thank you for the comments. I'm watching the comments come up, but I'm also trying to stay on track with my message because I keep getting pulled off it. That there's a big difference between beauty and attraction and handsomeness and attraction. So for you ladies watching out there, you may see lots of beautiful men, handsome men, who may have the hard bodies, who may actually be, honestly, in more love with themselves than they are with you. That's happened in LA a lot. There's a lot of narcissistic behavior out here, where men are so in love with their muscles and their physiques that you actually are second place. That may not be a good idea. But the same thing again is true, that you may find them very striking, but you're not attracted to them in your heart. And this is where I play this game deeper, is where does your heart come into this? And aesthetics, that's a good word, Laurie, thank you. Sorry, again, for those, I'm just bumping my earpiece. For those of you watching on YouTube, this is originally on Facebook Live, so I'm interacting with the people on Facebook Live first, which is why you're going, who's commenting? I can't see the comments. If you're on YouTube, on Facebook, you'll see it. Yes, attractiveness versus aesthetics. Good words, I like that one, Laurie. And that for me is one of the things, is that I do find myself, because I'm single, have been for quite a while, because I've been working on my work and my book and my coaching, I see many attractive women, and it's actually a very interesting entertainment in a way, or an opportunity for me to just survey what I notice and what's attracting to me. What do I find attractive, and then what am I attracted to? Two different things. So I'm way off track from where I started, but this is where I'm going, and I'll come back to Luke to the beginning at the end of this. I hope we'll see. This is never scripted. All right, so getting back on track. Let's bring this back on. In fact, I'll look back now. What is it that'll drive you apart? So getting back to what I started with, I'm saying that I'm being caregiver to my housemate at the moment since she got back from back surgery on the weekend. And I'm doing things like getting food, taking care of stuff at the house, that I'm thinking, now what did I do that in a relationship? It's actually been what's starting this conversation really in me is sitting with, I'm washing the dishes, I make sure she's got a cushion on her feet, I'm doing these things that I'm like, have I done that for a partner before? Maybe I've changed, I don't know. So I've been wondering about that myself. So maybe this is actually for me to ponder my own questioning about where I would stay, where I would leave. I'm reviewing for myself. I think, to be honest, I would. If I was in a relationship with somebody who went through surgery and I had to take care of them afterwards, I would stay. And I would do things that I may not normally do. It's like service/caring for somebody, loving them type thing. Yet I know people who wouldn't. I have seen people, for example, this is a big one to put on the table, so bear with me. I know some friends of mine, husband and wife, who actually broke up when their child got killed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lay it on you really far, but that's one of those big things that it's a trauma, it's a tragedy. And I see some people can't deal with that. So my question to you to try on is, how committed are you to the loving? How committed are you to be able to go that deep? In the case of this couple, it was hard. I mean, I was there for them, but I could feel that they couldn't fit together because there was something so painful they couldn't face each other. Yet the truth is, what would heal them most powerfully, I believe, was to come together, to love each other through this, because they're beautiful people. I mean, who they are in their hearts, they're just incredible people. And to see them be so torn apart and isolated because of the child, I understand why, but I wish it didn't happen. So be aware of what is for you, those things that will keep you there, what things that force you away. Or I should say, what will keep you there because you want to be there, but will force you away because you don't feel comfortable. Maybe it's time to stretch your comfort zone into a more accommodating place to commit to a relationship longer. Because what drew you in the beginning, ideally, is still there. That's another part, by the way, of the conversation. Are you still attracted now, whereas maybe at the beginning you weren't? So these are all just questions I'm not answering, so sorry. These are hooks for you to play with. So I'm going to leave this. I'm watching if there's anything else coming through. I think I'm complete on this conversation, so I'm leaving this here with these questions for you to answer. in the comments below, if you so choose, or message me if you want to ask directly and offline. What is it for you that is important? What is it for you that you'll stay? And what is it for you that will keep you or go? This could be an interesting conversation. All right. So, by the way, if you haven't just watched my broadcast before, this is my 147th Facebook Live. So Laurie's saying, if you leave if he is immoral, unethical, or involved in illegal activities, along with not honouring his word. If you cannot honour his word, there is no foundation. If he's 51% valuable and is moral, it ran out. I'm not sure it's going to go with that. I'm talking about, now let me speak to that, Laurie, directly, first of all. Ideally, you would vet the person, or at least get to know the person enough to know in your own heart, your intuition, if he is in fact immoral, unethical, involved in illegal activities. If he's that good at hiding it, then I'm sorry. I mean, that's the thing. It's really something to tune into your own intuition, your wisdom, to be able to feel into somebody's energy and go on track, off track. So, and unfortunately, I don't see the rest of your comment till I sign off. I'll see it in the comments below when I sign off myself. Getting back to wrap up. If you're watching my broadcast and you want to watch my future ones, make sure you hit the button that's somewhere on the screen around the broadcast on this broadcast that says follow me, or make sure you're notified next time I go live, because then you'll be notified when I go live. It's kind of simple that way. This is my 147th broadcast. I'm glad you agree, Laurie. We should catch up sometime. We haven't talked for ages, by the way. 147 broadcasts so far. Yes, I'm busy doing this stuff. It's fun to do, and I love getting these messages out and playing with different topics. So if you've got any ideas for topics, please message me directly over social media. If you're watching YouTube, that's where the rest of them live. You can find all my broadcasts on my business page on Facebook, on my YouTube channel under Barry Selby, which is my channel, on my website, which is barryselby.com, and you go to the video blog. You see them all listed there from the newest to the oldest. They'll keep you busy for a while. I mean, they're at least, each one's probably 10 minutes to 15 minutes long. Some are longer, so that'll take you a couple of days to get through if you want to. If you don't get bored with my face after 2 days, we should talk. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up before I get too Looney Tunes on this. Thank you for watching, and thank you for taking time to listen to my pondering thoughts about relationships and love. I love bringing these topics to bear, bring them out, and ideally inspiring you, entertaining you perhaps, and uplifting you, and making you think is ideal as well. All right, I'm signing off. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, and as always, make sure you do honor and respect who you are, because that's the first person who needs to. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.